All right, everyone. I figured that I would do a walkthrough, a detailed video of my kayak. As you can see, I have a Feel Free Lure 11.5 version 2. Purchased this off Austin Kayak about 3-4 weeks ago. Most of the accessories also came from Austin Kayak, with the exception of the trolling motor and my Anchor Wizard. But starting in the front, I'll kind of show you what I got going on up here. In the bow, I have a rod holder that I purchased from Yak Attack, and I just mounted these cheap lights I found off Amazon on it. As you can see, they're just kind of screwed in there. Water resistant, and you just push them to turn them on. In the rear, I have one of the Yak Attack Visipoles, another battery operated device. So I have white light in the rear, green and red in the front. So if I do get caught out on the water at dusk or once the sun goes out, hopefully I won't get a ticket. And also hopefully I won't get ran over by a larger watercraft. I have a fish bag right here that I purchased off of Academy Sports. As you can see, it's a Magellan brand. And I just have it bungeed down. It's easy to open. Oops. Got a couple zippers. Can easily store fish in there. Shut it. If I need to remove it, because I need access to the dry storage underneath. Just unclip it. Take off these little ball bungees. And as you can see, it's easily removable. Took me a few seconds. Dry storage right here. One of the things I like about this hatch is it's got this nice rubber gasket that goes all the way around 360 degrees. So it should keep water out, because I'm using this to store two 12-volt batteries. This battery right here, got a circuit breaker ran to it, and that's powering my 55-pound thrust trolling motor that's mounted on the transom. And then this battery right here is actually going to be powering my GoPro, charging my cell phone, and powering my fish finder. So essentially what's going on with this is I have 3 USB ports and a cigarette lighter adapter port that it's mounted to my kayak that are ran to this battery. And I'll show those to you in a minute. Right here, it's got a small plano box. I use that for storing straps, tie downs, and like miscellaneous items. As you can see right here, I have a Yak Attack, I don't even know what they call it, but that's what I'm gonna keep my GoPro mounted to. And then as far as running that power cord, the power will be coming from here. So as you can see, when you lift this up, I have 2 USB charging ports right there. So I can run power to my cell phone, and I can run power to the GoPro. My cell phone will be mounted right there. And then on this side, I have on-off switch. It's got a voltometer. As you can see, I got 12.1 juice on the battery. And there's a USB 3.0 charging below that, which is like the fast charging port. And then I have my fish finder plugged into this cigarette lighter adapter. Running a Garmin transducers mounted on the bottom of this sonar pod. And I use that sonar pod for dry storage as well. All right, so as you can see, I got plenty of deck space. I'll be able to stand up and cast just fine. When I'm sitting on the seat, my dog will have plenty of space to either sit between my legs or look out on either of the sides. She's not that big. She weighs about 14 pounds, I believe. So she'll have plenty of room for both me and her when we're out in the water. So I'm gonna lift her up and put her on the ground. Right here, as you can see, I bought one of those Feel Free accessory cross member bars. I don't remember the exact name, but after I make this video, I'll put a link in the description below. And then I just mounted or zip stripped catch measuring device up here. I think they call it a hog trough. And I can easily measure fish, make sure that I'm within limits to either catch or release. And I can also double it as a place to cut bait. I can store hooks. If I need to set something down real quick, it acts as a pretty good dash. And it's on there pretty good. It's not going anywhere. Got my cup holder right there. So, and for those of you that say, hey, why waste all that space or whatever? Well, guess what? Like, I'm not. I have plenty of deck access. I don't need to stand past where my foot pedals are anyways. Like, I'm not going to be standing all the way up here. I'll probably lose my balance if I did. So I can easily reach over here. I can easily access my dry storage hatch if I need to mess with batteries. So that's not in my way. I actually prefer having the extra storage where I can set things down. And one of the reasons that I bought this kayak is because of this seat. So it's a zero gravity seat. They say it has about 15 points of adjustment. So as you can see, when I lift it up, it's got a good, probably around like 12 inches or so, maybe a little bit more clearance from the deck. So as someone that has a bad back like me, that can't be like seated super low in a kayak all day while we're out in the water, it's great. Had surgery a couple years ago, so I really needed something that's gonna be supportive. One of the upgrades that I did on this kayak was I purchased a high back seat back. So I bought this off the Feel Free website. They might be sold out at the moment, but I'll provide a couple links below to where you can purchase this. So if you're not happy with the one that it comes with, where it cuts off about like right here, I would highly recommend purchasing this high back seat back, because yeah, it just makes life a lot better. And it's not that hard to install. It took me maybe like 20 minutes, if that. You just basically pull out that pin that's holding the old one in, as you can see right there. Undo the straps, the bungees, and then let's install the new one. Comes with pretty detailed instructions, so it's easy to do. All right, moving on back here. Got a Wilderness Systems crate. I use this to store tools, tie downs, tackle, just miscellaneous items. Highly recommend, if you're going on the water, to carry a multi-tool, especially if you need to mess with the battery, tighten down some screws, bolts. It's good to have one of these with you. And in the main compartment, which I think is gonna keep everything pretty dry, it's a solid crate. Keep my tackle in here. This is my dog's life vest. So you never know, like, I get it, my dog's a really good swimmer, but if we're in the river with like a higher current, it's nice to be able to know that she has a little bit of assistance to keep her above water in case I have to loop back around. If we had a doggy overboard situation, which hopefully we don't. Hopefully she stays in the boat, but you never know. So if you're taking your dog out in the water, even if your dog's a good swimmer, still recommend putting on a life vest for your dog. And here I got my jacket, and there I got my wet weather gear and some sunscreen for me, and then I got some sunscreen for my dog. So I bought this off Amazon, Pet Sun Protector Spray. So if we're out on Lake of the Ozarks with the sun beating down on us, my Jack Russell only has an outer coat. She doesn't have an undercoat. So just like people, dogs can burn from the sun. So if you're taking your dog out in the water with you and your dog doesn't have like a thick coat, I would think about getting something to keep them from getting burned. Because I'm sure that they probably don't like being sunburned, just like people don't like being sunburned. All right, coming on back here, got my Yeti cooler. I like to keep my beverages separate from my fish. Personal preference. I know some of y'all probably just keep your fish in the same cooler that you keep your beverages. I, on the other hand, like to have 2 separate coolers that serve 2 separate purposes. All right, so right here, we got a Island Hopper 55-pound thrust trolling motor. So I purchased this directly off their website. I'll provide a link in the description below. I believe they have 3 sizes. I want to say 35-pound thrust, a 45-pound thrust, and a 55-pound thrust trolling motor. I went with the 55-pound thrust saltwater option just because I wanted to be able to kind of fight a little bit better through some of the river currents that I'm going to be fishing in. And I'll kind of give you a demonstration of how that works. So let me get my dog out the way. Come here, Colt. Come on. Come here. Good boy. All right, sit. Stay right here. All right. So just to give you an idea, I got the control panel right here. So as you can see, it's got 5 speeds forward. It only says 2 reverse, but I promise you there's a 3rd hidden gear there. So there's really 3 reverse. And I'll kind of give you a demonstration of how that works. So you basically just turn these knobs, whatever direction you're trying to go, and then I'll give you the demonstration right now. So this is forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bringing it back down. All right, reverse 1, reverse 2, and there's that 3rd reverse hidden gear that I was telling you about. Real excited to see what that can do in the water. I will follow up with another video to kind of test to see how fast it goes, how well it does, how easy it is to operate. If I need to lift it up, I'll give you an example of how that works. So it hooks up to your pre-existing beaver tail rudder system. So you're still gonna use the foot pedals to control it. They do have an option to where you can control it directly from the motor with an extended handle. I opted not to go with that one because I felt like I'd rather just be able to control it with my feet so I can worry about using my hands for other things. But to lift it up, they have a T-handle tied to a rope that's ran to the back. So you just basically lift it up, cinch it off to the little hooks they got going on in there. And as you can see, it lifts up out of the water, gives you real good clearance. It actually lifts up level with the transom. It's actually past the wheel and the keel. For those of you that don't know what that is, there's a little wheel right here. Works okay. As you can see, I still went with the cart just because it gives me better balancing, and I have a lot of stuff going on in my kayak. So when I'm loading, unloading this thing, it makes it much easier to have a cart. But I do know the wheel and keel is good for some situations, like if you're just on concrete. If you're trying to go through grass or mud or anything, get yourself a cart. But yeah, and then the lower it, you do the same thing. So you grab the little T-handle, you just kind of pull, and you just lower it down. Super easy. Very easy motor to use as far as like lifting it, lowering it, and using the control module. I did have to drill a hole right here. As you can see, the positive and negative terminals are running through this grommet that I have ran to the front of my kayak where the batteries are. As far as my anchoring system, I'm running the Yak Attack trolley anchor system, and I also have the Anchor Wizard running through it. So, and I have a mushroom anchor, as you can see right here. So basically I would just hook the anchor up right here with this knot, take the anchor trolley system, and I can put it to either the front of the boat or I can put it to the rear of the boat. But you never want to anchor from the side, especially if you're in a situation where there's a strong current, like a river. because you're just setting yourself up for failure. And don't ever anchor your boat from the side. Go either do it from the front or the rear. If you do decide to go with the Anchor Wizard, I would recommend buying the additional mounting bracket plate, so you can mount it to this little feel-free accessory mounting device that hooks into the track. It's in there pretty sturdy. You don't have to worry about it like going anywhere, and I didn't have to drill any additional holes in my boat. So that mounting bracket right there, if you're running the Anchor Wizard off of a feel-free. All right, I think that pretty much covers everything as far as the boat goes. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions at all as far as like how I rig certain things up or how certain things operate, please leave a comment, and I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. I plan to follow up with another video here in the next couple of weeks. I'm currently working full-time, and I'm in school full-time working on a doctorate degree. So I have finals the next couple of weeks, but then I have about 4 weeks of break to where I'm gonna try to get out in the water as much as I can to kind of test out some of all the stuff that I got rigged up. Again, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed meeting my pets. She's gonna be going out in the water with me quite often. He's gotta wait till his mother approves for me to purchase a larger vessel before he can come out in the water. And Nolan over there, I don't think is gonna wanna go out on any fishing trips anytime soon. So again, enjoy the rest of your day. Hope this video was informative, and I hope that if you decide to go with the feel-free, that some of these ideas that I did as far as what I did on my kayak are helpful. And yeah, so have a good one. Take your dogs fishing.